So when you want to add an add-on to any of the Google applications, you want to be inside that application. So you can do it from, you actually could go backwards, but it's easier to go in the application first. I think it's easier to link them. So we're going to do that way. We're going to click on our waffle. We're going to go down to Sheets. And I'm just going to open up a new blank document. So once it's open, I don't know if you've seen this before, but there's the add-on menu that you can click on. So I can get add-ons, which is what we're going to do to get one of the add-ons, but one of them I already have. So I already have this magical digital badges, but I haven't run it yet. And for this one, I noticed if I went to my Manage Add-ons, it says apps installed by your admin. So that means that the school pushed this out into certain accounts. And so that's what it's telling me. So just in case you see it there and you're like, hey, I didn't add that add-on. That's how sometimes you get add-ons. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click Run for the first time because I haven't ever used it yet on this account. And it's running it. It's working it. And so now look what happened to my sheet. So I have sheet 1, but then I have this pupil details and I have this badge detail. So they added a couple of tabs on here for me. So what happens here under the pupil details, you need to be able to put in your name and your email address, and you need to indicate which class the person's in. And then this is where you'd put your badge titles. For the badge details, this is where you are going to put your badge name, and then you're going to give your file link to it. And then this sheet 1, some people just delete it. I actually use this one to sort of keep track of how people are doing with the checkboxes, so I use it in conjunction. But these two, you have to be a little bit careful. This is very similar to Flippity in that when you get your links and stuff, you can't adjust other things. So when it says do not put anything here, they have some code underneath here. I don't know what it is. It is hidden. I could try and find out some of the things, but I don't even care. For this, I just want it to work. And so I'm not going to adjust anything. I'm going to make sure I put all the stuff where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to flip you over into my teacher account so you can see how you can use this. So here we are in my Google Training class list. And what I did was I added, where it said Sheet 1, I renamed it. So it's called Google Training Class List. So this, it has the name and the email address of everyone in class. And then these are my check marks that I'm like, okay, who did what? So I'm checking off as I go. So this is what I'm using to sort of keep track. And you can see that I have the frozen column over here. So I can just sort of move around so I make sure that I see the information that I need to see so I can tell who did what. This pupil detail underneath, this is, and I randomly sorted these so you guys can't tell who's who. I like to protect privacy. So these ones, if it says the word copied, that means that the badge was copied and you have a copy of your badge in your folder. These new ones, so you can see I put Y's here, so that's how it works. The trigger is a Y. You put let's try a lowercase. I don't know if a lowercase will work. So it was a capital Y. I'm doing a little test case scenario here to see if that's going to work. But for here, so I've started this, I've used this app before, so now I'm going to go to Add-ons and I go to Autocrat. And, I'm sorry, Magical Digital Badges. I was going to the wrong one. And then I just click Launch and watch what's going to happen. It opens up on the side. So these are sort of like all the controls. So if I added a new person, so let's say I have my class and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, someone just got added to my class, which happens all the time. So in the name field, I'm going to type the person's name. So I'm going to do STEM student. And then for the email address, I'm going to type STEM student's email address. And so for the class, you can see I made this column a little bit bigger. It's kind of skinny the way they have it. And so for this one, it's the Google class that STEM student got added into. So you could put your periods or whatever it was that you wanted to do. And so far, STEM student hasn't really done anything at all. But let's just say STEM student joined and happened to do that Sheets lesson. So I'm going to put a Y there. But poor STEM student doesn't have a folder yet. So automatically what this does is it makes drive folders for every student and it puts it in one place. So I'm going to hit generate drive folders. Everyone else already has one except for STEM students. So watch what's going to happen. So I get a confirmation that says I've successfully generated one new folder. So I could just hit OK here. And now STEM student has a folder. So now if I want to give badges to everyone, and you can also rename folders if someone's name changed. So let's say STEM student actually decided that they wanted to pick a different name. So their birth name was not a name that they wanted, and they have a different name that they've chosen. I can change that name and just say rename folders, and the folder name is going to be changed. So that's a way that you can be really sensitive to any students that might be transitioning. So now I want to assign badges, and so I like to send the emails with it. There is no way that I have found yet on how you can alter the emails, but I still like the message it sends, so that's okay. So if I click Assign Badges, what's going to happen is everyone that has a Y, and it can be anywhere in the document, is going to get their badge assigned. So I have one Y there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ys I have. And one of them I did a lowercase. We're going to check to see. The other thing that you need to keep in mind is if I hadn't hit enter, if I'm not out of the field, it won't assign a badge to that person. So make sure you click away from the field so it's definitely solidly in there. So I'm going to click Assign Badges. It's completing my task. It tells me to wait. Now, if you guys have big classes, when you're first doing it, when you're first setting up, it's going to take a little bit. So don't worry about it if it takes a long time, just be patient. Okay, I was being patient and it was taking way too long, so I changed that back to a capital letter. And so now we're going to see if this is a more reasonable time frame. The answer is yes, it was much more reasonable, so it has confirmed that I successfully copied 6 badges, so I hit OK. And you can see now, instead of having the Ys, it now says copied, and the last one says copied, which is what you want to see. Sometimes, every once in a while, there's like a weird error, but you just do it again, so it's no big deal. So now everyone has a badge, so let me show you what the badges look like. Now, first of all, when you click that Create the Badges, Create the Folders, it creates a folder. It's called Digital Badges-Folders is what it's called. And it's going to have one for each person that's in your class. So this is everyone that's taking our class has their own folder. And then we can open up one of them. I think this is STEM Student. Yep. So here's the STEM Student one, and inside STEM Student now has one badge, so it's listed there. Now, all of the badges I have in a different folder. So I've created them and I've saved them into a separate folder, and it has just the badge. And then this is actually where I'm storing our document, that my major spreadsheet that has all the information in it. So these are all the different badges that I can give out in our class. So I've made them ahead of time. I have them in here. And so what I need to do is I need to get them into, whoops. Timed out there. I need to get them into the badge details. So this is one of the tricky things. At the top here, all of the, so once you get through the name of the class, then each of these column headings are the badges, and the order that they appear here have to match the badge details. So it says do not put anything in here, and these are the badge names. So I have up through advanced sheets right now. So I need to go and get some more badges and put them in so that our class will be finished. Now, this points value over here, I was just curious. I tested before to see like what the leaderboard did. And so it put a leaderboard out there. I don't use it actually, so I don't do anything with it, but that's what the leaderboard is. And so if that's something you wanted to publish, you could say like, you know, these people have this many. I tend not to like to do the leaderboard, but it's personal preference. So the next 4 badges that are possible to earn in class are the drawing badge, the design badge, the meet badge, and the sites badge. And actually, there is a 15-hour badge too. So that when you finish your 15 hours, so you get that 1 increment credit, I developed a badge for that one as well. So I have these, and so what I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to right-click to copy them. There we go. And I'm going to go back into my pupil details. And here, I'm going to right-click, and I am going to do a paste special. And so this one, you know how I copied them down? They were sort of going down the column. Watch this. Paste transposed. Look at that, how glorious. It pastes it across. So I copied it. I'm going to go back so you can see that. I copied it. They were going down the column. And if I do a paste special and I can paste them transposed, it pastes them across that way, which is very handy. So now I know that they're in the exact same order here as they are here, which is really important. So the next important thing is getting the link. So the first one is the drawing. I'm going to hit escape here. So I have to go into my badges and I got to find the one that's for drawing. So I'm going to, so here we go, Google Drawing. So I'm going to right click on that and I am going to get the shareable link. I'm just going to copy that link. I say done, and I'm going to go back into my spreadsheet. I'm going to paste the link in there. So I'm just going to do Control V. You could right click. Now, I want you to notice this. This does go to the link. It knows exactly where to go, but you see this one looks a lot longer than the one up here. So we actually have to edit this link a little bit. So we have to take away certain things. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Let's see if I can zoom in very far. Okay, that works great, but you can't see too much up here. Let's see if I can zoom this in. Whoops. I did a little too much. Okay, this should be good enough. And I'm just going to close this for a second. All right, so what you need to do is you need to take away first from that last backslash. So you're going to take away the view, delete. Then you're going to go over here and you're going to, again, find that backslash and you're going to take away that part. So you're going to have just the middle goodness. And that's all I want. I'm going to hit enter, so that's good. So now I'm going to zoom back out so you can see. It's still going to the drawing. I can click here and you can still see that's the drawing badge, but now it's going to work properly. So I have to do the same thing for the next badge. So I'm going to do one more. So it was, I've forgotten already, so sad. Oh, the design badge. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to find the design badge. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to get my shareable link. I'm going to copy my link. And so, and it needs to be anyone with the link can view. I already had those set up. So I'm going to copy the link. I set those properties on that folder. And I'm going to say done. So I have that link. I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste it. And again, this is really long. It's hard to edit inside the cell. It's much easier to edit up here. So I'm going to zoom in again so you can see it. I'm going to try not to go as much. Okay, so remember, we're looking for those backslashes. We're going to take away the ending one. Then we're going to go here and we're going to take away the beginning one and hit delete. And then when that's good, we just hit enter. And so now that one's in there. So you just repeat that for however many badges you want. So you can have them all done ahead of time. And you can see, obviously, I did not have them all done ahead of time. I've been doing them as I go. Every week I put in a new badge. I just did all of my badges this weekend, so now I have them all set, but that's how you would go about doing that. So I just went through and I finished all my badges, and I just double checked to make sure, okay, that one's the meat one, and then I mouse over the next one, yep, that's sites, and then I mouse over the last one to make sure that's the final badge. So I just do that just to make sure I didn't make a mistake. If I made a mistake, no big deal. Just delete out the link and do it again. So it works very smoothly, very easily, and it's really a great way to be able to give that reinforcement to the kids or to the adults. If they do something, it's kind of fun to get a little badge. So I hope that you'll give this a try. It's not bad to use. The only thing you have to do is just look through that link address and delete out those backslashes, and I know you can all do that.